Welcome back to Patch Play 2's weekly podcast.
I'm your host, Jay
Paul
Parnas.
James, and I'm again joined by this flog, Jay Parnas and Damo. Patch updates. What have we been playing this month? Damo, I'm going to kick things off with you.
Himself.
Why would you kick it off with me? I've been playing...
What have I been playing?
As he flicks his phone open to fire up the game that he's going to discuss called...
Tetrasphere.
Girls X Battle.
Girls X Battle. There
Girls
you go.
Gone Wild.
It's the same. It was
Galgun.
named
Galgun.
anime mobile game of the year last year, so I thought I'd give it a try, see what these shitty things are about. And it's alright. I just something to kill some
I've heard
time.
a lot of people like Galgun.
Bit of a time void. Oh shit, yeah, I've also been playing Shadowverse because the latest update came out, so that's fun.
So hang on, how does this Girls X Battle actually play? Ignoring the stupid jokes that I make to go with it.
I don't know.
What's it meant to... What would
Girls walk at each other and they kill each other. It's just a typical, I don't
Do
know.
you get to rip and
Fighter?
tear?
Is it turn-based?
No, it just does it. It's like an automatic rail fucking thing.
Okay.
3 fucking...
Got it. You automatically rail girls. Got it.
The
I don't know.
10-20 second trailer you see on the screen says everything you need to know about Girls X Battle.
Girls Gone
Yeah,
Wild.
put a trailer up there.
Girls Gone Wild.
I wouldn't. I would
Debbie does dance.
cover your eyes.
It was on YouTube, so it can't be too bad, the rating.
Was it a hidden
look,
channel?
It's,
Or
it's really poorly translated in some parts, so don't try and follow the storyline because it just does not make much sense.
I always read it for the storylines in the articles.
That's fantastic.
Sorry, it's too easy.
Let's talk about Shadowverse.
Shadowverse, okay.
So Shadowverse is that card game that I was playing a little while ago. Expansion has come out. It's made it really fun. It's now more really combo-y, so it's really cool because you get to set up your decks a lot more fun.
I do like combo.
Throwing shit at you now too. Like you log on every day and that's all you have to do, log on, and they're like, here's some packets of cards. It's like, how are you guys even making money? And then you realize it's like, oh yeah, that's right. There are like people out there that were like, okay, I'll spend $300 this month and get as many packets of cards as I can. But yeah, that's been fun. And whatever game that
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
playing,
Secret of Evermore, the video games club, which you'll see next week.
there you go. That's the one. I've been playing that.
Wait, that was the game this month?
Yeah.
I'm fucking with you. It's fine.
Played Secret of Mana.
Yeah. What?
They seem pretty similar.
I thought it was Chrono Trigger. Shit.
So, Jay, you
I've been
came
playing.
up blank when I quizzed him about it before. He's given me a couple ideas so I can get some footage for us.
Yeah, I always forget right before we record
tell
these.
Tell me about Absolute Drift.
Absolute Drift is actually really fun. Next. No, it's basically it's
pitch.
a top the pitch. It's a top down drifting game basically. I wouldn't call it a racing game really. It's more of a technique type game where basically you're trying to get long drifts, chain your drifts. It's got very not floaty but very
Loose.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, like you can actually make your movements quite silky in that game. It's a very slidey game, right? So don't expect like Need for Speed, like zipping around or based on its viewpoint. Don't expect like Micro Machines, turn on a dime type stuff. No, if you try and turn, you'll basically slide. It's as if you're driving on ice the whole time. But you can actually modify how you're turning with your brake and your handbrake and stuff like that. And it's actually kind of got a combination of little races that you can do. So some of them might be like a downhill drift or like a circuit where you got to do drift around the circuit, you get 3 laps to try and get as many points as you can. And then you'll have your overworld where there'll be just little tasks that you can do. So it's like, drift around this pole and you do that and it will like slowly get like a percentage gauge, and when you get to 100 then you get your objective. And there's like 15, 20 objectives, then it opens up an entire new section of the sort of open worldy type thing. It's great. It's the sort of thing that I would love on a handheld. It's got pretty cool sort of dancey, trancy music. Nothing too intense. Because again, it's kind of, like the Zen mode that's come out for it now. It is actually kind of one of those games where it's like shut your brain off type deal.
Yeah, okay.
It's a good bit of fun. I mean, I've only I've listened to podcasts while playing it. I've turned the music off altogether, and I'm just like trying to zone into what they're talking
Yeah, I've
about.
been trying to find a few of those sorts of games where I can switch off, listen to a podcast.
It's one of those.
Or whatever it is.
I would definitely recommend it.
I consume a lot of podcasts, TV, those sorts of things, so I like to be able to prop my computer next to me and watch a show or something, or...
I'd recommend it.
Or, turn on a podcast and start listening to it, or whatever it is. So, and for that, I'll talk about one of those games shortly. But
yeah, it's real good for that. I mean, one of the games I've been playing this month. I played a little bit more on
Doom.
I've been trying to get through some of my backlog.
Which is a video, I feel like I've cropped this trailer into almost every updates thing for
Fucking
quite a while.
Doom is so good. I put some serious time into it this month. I'm pretty close to the end now. And man, that game is good. That's a real fucking good game. Also trying to put a bit of time into Dying Light still. Mainly purely because I don't want to finish that game. It's the first. I actually was thinking about this the other day. It's the first game where I do not want to complete all the content in it because I love that game so much that I do not want to consume all the content and have nothing but just an empty open world.
Yeah.
Which is weird. I've never really felt that about an open world game before. I've never been one to do all the side objectives, collect all the bullshit, do all that sort of stuff. And I'm not going to go around and collect all the blueprints or whatever in that game, but I probably will do all the missions and side missions. But I'm trying to sort of pad it out so that it stays with content.
Yeah.
Because it's just a really, really good game. I can't speak highly enough for that. What else? A bit more into Heart and Slash, just for
which is something you can
yes.
you can refer back to last month.
Played a bit of that. That's right. I played a hefty chunk of The Crew as well.
Oh yeah.
Because I played some of Forza Horizon 1 since it became backwards compatible, and wasn't really super into how that controlled. Because I like really arcadey racing. My favourite's Burnout Paradise. That game's fucking fantastic. And apparently game devs don't know how to make a Burnout Paradise handling game anymore. The Crew handles like dog shit. And I looked up, there's a lot of stuff online, so don't get pissy at me. I understand there's a lot of things that you can do to change the controls, and it kind of works, but when you start getting up to speed, it's either super squirrely or basically not responsive, and you try and turn, and all that happened, you're still going forward and the back just kicks out and you basically just slide on the spot and go. It's twitchy as all shit or the complete opposite. There's no mid ground that I could find, and believe me, I put hours into trying to figure that shit out, and yeah. I like some of the objective on the go type stuff that they did, and the whole sort of, hey, this is the whole USA. It's kind of cool, but I don't know. Ultimately, it's disappointing for me.
And in my case, I got through a fair bit this past month. Gears of War was the first thing I kind of kicked off with, because I think as of when we were recording last time, the game came out only a few days
after, yeah.
So I got into that really quickly, smashed out the campaign. I've done a bunch of multiplayer stuff, mostly helping Matt to write his review for the site, which you can check out on player2.net.au.
What'd you think?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. The campaign was, I think, actually probably my best point of comparison. Maybe the both of you already heard this if you've followed much of the Gears commentary.
I've followed a bit of it.
It feels a lot like The Force Awakens, in that obviously you don't have Luke Skywalker or any of that stuff, but it's very safe.
So Marcus Phoenix's son pulls down a Star Destroyer. Got it.
Yeah. It hits some of the same beats and tones that you saw it had a really cool story, which I think only got better as the game went on. For a while there, I thought it was
played the first hour and a half of that game, and then threw it away.
Yeah, and it wasn't super strong in that first hour and a bit. The characters are really cool.
I'm talking about the Force.
Oh, the Force. Shut up. Look, Gears was great. Horde, a lot of fun. I messed around with some of the different other multiplayer modes.
The way that they've done Horde now looks really interesting, with the currency stuff.
Yeah, and you're able to set up some gear to kind of help out.
Because that buys into sort of some story related stuff, the little fabricator.
Yeah, the fabricator
machine,
part of the campaign, and that's bled across into the.
Which is good because you get to set your little defend spot, I guess.
So
but it's not even a
try and
defend
find
spot.
yourself a nice little corner to wedge yourself into.
But that's the thing. Like if they're not trying to destroy your fabricator. They're just trying to kill you.
Yeah.
So where you put that thing is not super important because you just want to have a place that you can go and.
Well, you want a nice convenient spot to be able to get to. You're protected when you're going and reaching in to build whatever it is you need to build, so you can set it up. You want to have a little bit of time. So whether wedging yourself in a corner, sometimes wedging yourself in the corner is not necessarily the best strategy because
it takes too long to get there.
It takes too long to get there. You're only one point. You've only got one way in or out.
It's neat how they've done
It's all the strategy that you just have to juggle up when you're playing it.
And the game doesn't start until you've deployed that into the position that you want it. Is that right? Yeah.
So I, not so much myself. Angelica spent a lot of time playing Mafia 3 over the first month, and I'd kind of jump in and help out when she needed it from time to time. So in total, I probably played 45 minutes. Of what is a really lengthy campaign.
I got real hot and heavy into the idea of buying that game, and then saw some of the stuff in it, and I'm like, man, that story looks real good. That storytelling looks amazing.
Excellent. She swears by it. She's not here at the moment, but she swears by it.
But everything else...
Everything else, though, it's very repetitive. I found myself hanging around, I just take cover at a corner, whistle, guy comes around, stab him, his mate, oh, look, walks around, reach around, grab him, stab him. It became very repetitive loop, far too easily exploited. Which is a shame because the story was excellent, and I probably only saw maybe a third of it, and I was totally hooked. And she'd come off playing a 5 or 6 hour marathon, and so what happened? Tell me about it. Despite the fact I'm out here playing Gears.
So let me ask you the most important question about that game: would it make a better HBO series than a video game?
That story, yeah.
That's kind of what I've been thinking.
There was lots of bugs and those sorts of things in it, and it was the same issue that Mafia 2 reportedly had. So
that's unfortunate.
There are plenty of good redeeming features, but it might very well have been a better show.
TV series, yeah. Well, you know what? That's a good thing in a sense.
The version we picked up had the season pass in it as well, so we'll get some more legs out of it.
See how that goes, yeah.
I'll keep it installed on the PS4. I've got the Pro coming. Well, by the time you're watching this, I've already got the Pro. And I won't put that on the Pro. I'll leave that on the regular PS4 and put that in the bedroom so that whenever she wants to play, she can play. But look, it was all right. So I spent a fair chunk of time, and last month I spoke about Dragon Quest Builders, the demo that I played. I've now played the full game. Hopefully by now you're seeing a review that Stephen is... Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully you're seeing the review on player2.net.au that Stephen's written. Excellent. I got really concerned at the end of So the game's broken into 4 chapters.
Right.
There's a self-contained story for each of these 4 chapters. When you complete chapter 1...
You have to ditch your town.
You ditch the town, you ditch all your equipment, everything starts again.
Even your health upgrades from what I saw.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything. I'm like,
it's a bit...
I don't know if I want to go through this same thing, knowing that there was 4 chapters. I don't want to go through 3 more times. It was fine. Because the difficulty amped up each chapter. It was just a different starting point in terms of the difficulty, essentially. There was different resources available to you. You'd learn, you'd still come into this new world with the knowledge that you'd gained from the one, so you know how to build this. You're not having to start totally from scratch.
Right.
Your NAS is still fine. It's just the resources and all those sorts of things are gone. So I found myself very quickly building myself back up and establishing my new town and dealing with new threats and those sorts of things. It was really, really interesting and really cool.
Well, from what I saw of that game...
That was my experience with the podcast thing, though. As much as I love the Dragon Quest soundtrack, they didn't have a wide range of songs available in the thing, so I was starting to hear the same tune over and over. Right. All right, you listen to whatever I wanted to listen to.
Go to YouTube, get the OST of... Was it 9?
Oh, no, this is where I'd binge on my podcast and that sort of thing.
Right, sure, okay. From that game, from what I saw, the combat was a little shitty.
By design, though. The thing they stress to you is that you're not a hero. You're not supposed to be able to...
but a little floaty, you can't, so you sort of have to... You can't, lock and keep your distance, and then like it's like you had to sort of move back and forth, like sort of circle back around to get within like sword range, but not going to get punched in the face range. That sort of stuff where it's
it was just kind of learning your different enemies and what you can do with them.
Again, like maybe your basic,
very very basic, yeah.
No, like just a basic improvement, I guess, would have probably made a lot of. From what I saw, again, I've only sort of seen.
They're already eyeing off now a sequel, given the success that the game.
Yeah, that did
Dragon Quest does
quite well
Japan,
over
but it's
in
done
Japan.
well over. Well, Dragon Quest is massive. Like, there's actually a thing now apparently in Japan where when a mainline Dragon Quest game comes out, it's a public holiday.
Yeah, right.
That's how.
Otherwise,
big
kids
Dragon
will
Quest
skip
is
school.
Yeah,
right?
because they just don't have people going to work or school or that sort of thing. So it's just a public holiday now, which get me into Japan.
Yeah, I can get behind that. Do you think that would work on a handheld? Or
Builders.
Yeah,
It's available on the Vita.
Yeah, but like, let's say a sequel was to come to a far-flung Nintendo console, for example.
I think it'd work really well. Like, it's the experience from Vita to PS4 was identical, so there'd be no reason why the whole thing wouldn't work when you had it on your Switch and
Click and go. Yeah.
And
do you think that's what we'll start to see? Like smaller games like that sell gangbusters, getting a Switch port, just to quickly shoehorn in the notes from last week?
From 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, sorry.
Yeah. There'll be a little bit of that, but I don't know, we'll see how it plays out. It's a lot of speculation. And finally, the last thing I kind of dabble with a little bit, I suppose there's actually probably two things.
Well done.
I fired up Titanfall 2.
Oh, yes.
As of the time of recording, I'm about 3/4 of the way through the campaign in what was about a 3-4 hour sitting, so I'm almost done.
Sure.
Another hour or two will see me finish with that.
Yeah.
Enjoying it. The story's cool. It's not blowing me away or anything like that.
But I mean, you have to...
The interactions between you, like you're working with a robot here that doesn't quite understand...
human interaction,
but also... like you use the word pissing me off, and it's like, I don't understand. What do you mean?
Right.
And I'm not delivering it very well there, but the delivery in the game was excellent. Like little hearty chuckles because there's a robot that doesn't understand. Like, it's cool. I haven't gotten into the multiplayer yet, and you're seeing it sitting on the counter here. I spent a fair bit of time with VR. So the demo's available in PlayStation VR Worlds, Job Simulator, platinum that.
Yeah, I've heard that's probably one of the easiest platinums that there is.
Outside of a Telltale game.
Fair enough. But you could do it faster on Job Simulator, right?
Yeah.
So.
Well, a lot of the work was done for me, so I picked up the VR that morning and I went into work, and I set it up, and just half my staff wanted to have a crack at it. So when I'm out in my classes teaching or whatever, I've got photos being taken of staff in my office with VR headsets on, and they're all messing around with it in Job Simulator. Half the trophies had been popped before I actually even played the game. It's great.
What'd you think of it? Because from what I've seen, that game is hilarious.
A bit of goofy, stupid fun. I did love, sticking my head over the photocopier and my brain coming out, and then tossing the brain in the air. And once I'd finished it,
throwing stuff in VR, doing dopey shit like that in VR is probably the best use case for it, from what I've seen.
And I've got things like Eve, and I've also spent a fair bit of time
Eve Valkyrie?
Eve Valkyrie, and I've spent a fair bit of time with Riggs, which at first, and I think it's probably a general warning for anything VR that certainly has a little bit of pace to it. Just take your time with these things. So, like my first match of Riggs, there's a lot of tutorial stuff that goes on. So that you're messing around, your head's flying all over the place, and it took a while to get used to. And then I finally played my first match where it's just you're moving very quickly. You're just turning to try and shoot, and then I needed to, after that one match, this headset's going off. That's it. I'm done for the night, because I felt like the stomach was just starting to churn and stew.
Well, better your head flying all over the place than your dinner flying all over the place.
But then it's one of those things that I think for anyone who kind of dives into VR, it's something we'll learn and become used to. This is foreign for our brain, the fact that our brain thinks we're moving, but we're not, and it's...
Like, I don't necessarily know that you can become accustomed to that, because you can't grow out of...
with subsequent sessions with rigs, I've been playing longer and longer and longer and feeling less and less of the effects.
I suppose, but can you ever grow out of motion sickness? Not really.
No, but
it might. People might be more predetermined.
It's not actually emotion. Technically, it's not motion sickness. Like, it's my body's thinking that I'm suffering from something like that, and I'm not. So it's about your brain getting around the fact that.
Ever heard of the placebo effect? It's pretty strong.
Yeah, but I think a lot of it's just down to adjusting to the team and what's actually going on. And there'll be more VR stuff that, like, there's a ton of VR content now up on the site that myself and Stephen have written with our resident player 2 PSVR owners. So
Resident, hey?
Yeah.
Gonna get into a bit of...
No, I'm not playing Resident. I'm not going to play Resident.
Segue of the day.
But that's, I suppose, a hell of a lot of content actually that I've played over the last month.
And then you've also got World of Final Fantasy.
I haven't touched
on that yet.
That came out the same day as Titanfall, so
haven't had time.
And I was still finishing Dragon Quest at the time.
Right. But there is that you could probably talk about next month.
Yes, I'll be looking to. Well,
from what I've seen,
we'll see next month. Final Fantasy 15 will be out, so World of Final Fantasy might just slide out of consideration. Until that's all done. I feel like that might be flight sort of food.
It's getting busy. It's getting busy. I mean, maybe by the time we're recording next month, Dead Rising 4 will be pretty much on the spectrum. Titanfall will be well and truly underway.
Let's kind of dive into that sort of stuff for a little bit. So obviously, and we've spoken about it last month, that Dead Rising is something you're really anticipating. Damo,
I'm hoping that it's good.
Well, Damo, just because you've been kind of quiet for a while.
Yeah.
Well, no, we've been taking turns. That's fine. But
I haven't heard a meme in like a good few minutes. I'm concerned.
Is there anything coming out in the next few weeks or whatever that you're really
days, weeks, months,
and
years?
Obviously some of these things, because
I don't know.
Everyone knows by now that we kind of date our episodes, but
I haven't even looked.
You haven't really looked. There's
some shit. There's some shit coming.
It's gonna get
Dishonored 2.
Yeah, you've got Dishonored 2.
Dishonored 2's on the way.
Yeah, no
all those sorts. Well, all those things are kind of out by the time you're seeing this again.
Yeah, true.
But there's
all you do is get my DS fixed, and that's about it.
Pokemon.
Yeah, Pokemon.
I need to get my DS fixed. So,
what's wrong with it?
It's a thing that new 3DS XLs suffer from. It says that the game card's removed, even though it's never been removed. You really need to get a better fucking thing. Careful. Anyone who has a new 3DS XL, it's apparently a really shitty thing that's happening to them. It just says the game card's removed. So imagine being 3 hours into a Fire Emblem match and just saying game card removed.
And there's your Fire Emblem reference for the month.
There you go. That's why I haven't been playing much, because I haven't had the fucking...
It was a really quiet month last month when we weren't able to make a Fire Emblem joke.
You know what? I think we still did. I think we may have.
Maybe.
I think you shoehorned one in.
But I guess, is there anything else? Dead Rising obviously is big.
Dead Rising, I'll have a look at Dishonored. I don't know if I'll join... I don't know if the entry is interesting to me at this stage.
Yeah. If someone wants to lend me that'd be great.
I might look into Titanfall. I might think about getting a PlayStation Pro, which will open me up to things like Overwatch.
You can just walk into my place and just raid my...
I will take Overwatch from you and probably never return it.
And I'll never realise it's gone because
the only time
I don't get around to multiplayer.
The only time you ever see it is when I play it when I'm here.
That's a good game. Don't shoot us down.
It is a great... No, Overwatch is fucking awesome. What else is coming out? I know there's a bunch of shit.
Your most anticipated game, Call of Duty.
Yeah, fuck that game. I actually don't look. They're trying to do something different. Who knows if it's going to be any good? But from what I've seen of Titanfall, zero fucks about Call of Duty. The only thing that looks interesting about Call of Duty Infinite Warfare is Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare.
Yeah,
HD. That's it.
And for me, probably, I'm a little bit interested in, you can see there's a fair pile of different things here that I probably need to get through. Some of which I've already played, but there's a large portion that I'm still yet to have touched.
Bioshock Collection.
But the one that probably intrigued me that I wasn't initially going to grab is Battlefield 1. I want to try out the campaign. People are raving about that campaign.
Yeah, but Battlefield players rave in general.
No, but I'm talking about people who aren't typically there's been a lot of hate for Battlefield campaigns.
Yeah, what is with first-person shooters having decent campaigns nowadays?
Well, yeah, I don't know.
Weird.
Well, I think story's just taking a bit of an emphasis. Even the Call of Duty one, I wouldn't rule out the possibility, and people know by now, but I wouldn't rule out the possibility that Infinite Warfare has an exceptional campaign.
Well, Advanced Warfare had a pretty damn good...
from Naughty Dog, out of Naughty Dog, to come over and write for them.
Again,
so
Advanced Warfare had a great campaign.
There's some talent out there.
The old Kevin Spacey.
Yeah.
That got it done. So, who knows? Borderlands 3 coming out pretty soon. I wish.
Oh God, I hope this happens somewhere between recording and now that you've just gone and pulled out a zinger there.
Oh, wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't that be?
And you can find the trailer.
And you can find the.
I
just an image of Battleborn.
Yeah.
And crying. Abject misery.
That's about it.
I feel like there's.
Final Fantasy 15.
I feel like there's a couple that I'm missing.
By now, I'm already deep into Final Fantasy 15. I was going to make a more inappropriate joke, but I think my mum watches sometimes.
Yeah. Nice.
Love you, mum. So that's about it for our patch updates for the month. If there's anything you've missed, make sure to go back and take a look at our PAX recording from last week, where we discuss anything.
We were most certainly not drunk at the time. Were we drunk at the time?
We'll see. I don't remember. Well, this will be fun. And then obviously make sure...
I really hope we were.
Make sure to like, share, subscribe. Tune in next week where you'll see the Video Games Club.
Video Games Club. Kicking it with the oldies.
But otherwise, that is patched for the month. Done. So...
We will see you in...
ongoing...
Game of the Year month.
Conversations. Make sure to hit up the site, player2.net.au. I feel like I've referenced it a million times already. Jump on Twitter, player2au.
Did you wear
Or James P2. I am wearing the Player 2 shirt. In fact, it's got the .net.au on it. Cool.
You've literally not been referencing it 0%.
Yeah. Anchorman XS, Tacos Talks.
Because you've all been so good at hitting me up on that Twitter thing that,
Wow, the passive aggression is strong with this one.
Show him some love on Twitter.
Don't.
Yeah.
Don't worry about Jay, because he's not going to probably read your tweet, let alone reply to it.
Or care.
But he appreciates that you sending your hate-filled comments regardless.
If you've got the time and the energy, I would prefer you go to player2.net.au, check out some of the fantastic content.
Hate on the content that I've written.
Yeah, just do that. That's fun. That sounds like fun.
So until next week with the Games Club, that's it for Patched. Thank you again for watching, and we'll see you later.
See you in the Christmas month next month.
Yeah.